Let me talk to you about a $100,000 fair credit loan hack. And this loan hack always works. So if you're trying to really get approved for a loan, a personal loan up to $100,000, and you have fair credit, this show is for you. So first of all, you need to have a clear idea about where to get a personal loan with fair credit, right? Because if you got to be really strategic, because otherwise, if you apply for your fair credit loan at the wrong place with the wrong lender, you are going to regret it. So the first hack is to know exactly where to get a personal loan with fair credit. So when we talk about the lenders that actually will take care of you in terms of fair credit loans, you have what? You have banks, you have credit unions, you have online lenders. What we have seen in our experience is that the best place to get a fair credit loan is either at a credit union or an online lender. Banks are not going to give you, like, if a bank approves you, they might approve you with a lower loan amount. So your best bet is an online lender such as Avant, Upgrade, Upstart, Lending Tree, Lending Club, and so on and so forth. Or you just go to a credit union. And when it comes to credit union, we love Connexus, and we also love Consumers Credit Union. So this is really important, okay? So, and one thing, do not waste your time at all with banks. They are going to, like, it doesn't matter, and we have seen this based on our research. It doesn't matter whether you have a relationship or not with the bank. It's still, you're not going to qualify. Now, when we talk about banks, if you want to go with the bank, choose PNC and US Bank. Those are the two that can really take care of you. Okay. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here to have a quick convo with you about the fair credit loan hack that always works. And so the first hack is to choose your lender appropriately. One thing I also need to say here is that obviously it does help to have a relationship with the lender. So how do you have a relationship with a credit union? Well, you have to be a member of the credit union, and actually you have to be a good member, a member in good standing. How do you establish a relationship with an online lender? Well, if you apply for a loan with them in the past, make sure that you repay that loan before applying for a new one. Okay, don't try to really accumulate the two loans at the same time. It wouldn't work. The second hack I want you to think about, if you are, let's say, if you have fair credit and you're trying to get a personal loan for a large amount, again, we're speaking about a $100,000 power play. What you want to do here is you want to review your credit reports. When we talk about reviewing your credit reports, it's not just about reviewing your Equifax, your Experian, or your TransUnion. No, it's about actually choosing a lender and seeing what the bureau that this lender will pull from, and just focus all your energy on that bureau. And the thing here is that, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that your number on that bureau is as high as possible. I mean, you probably know that there are differences when it comes to credit scores, whether you're speaking about TransUnion or Equifax or Experian. But so you want to, so for instance, if you're going with Navy Fed, and Navy Fed pulls TransUnion primarily. So you want to make sure that you track your TransUnion for the next 2 months or 2 to 3 months, and see the ups and downs. And if you see a gap, and the thing is, you have to constantly also see the other two credit bureaus, right? So if you see a huge gap, you know there was a problem. But if you don't see a gap, then you know that you're on the right path. So focus on one, and that will be the credit bureau that that particular lender will pull from. This is really important. Okay, and so after you do this, you also need to actually compare lender requirements. So what you want to do is you want to pick 2 or 3 or 4 lenders, and you want to see which one is a lot easier in terms of approval, because it's all about being approved, right? I mean, it doesn't matter whether you get the cash from Navy Fed or Penn Fed, or you get the cash from a bank, or you get the cash from the online lender. Cash is cash, right? So compare the lender requirements. Sometimes you might need to call them up. You know, some lenders have requirements around your employment. Some even have requirements around your education, you know, your FICO score, and so on and so forth. So it's up to you to really see what the lender that has the easiest requirements, and then you go for those. Okay, I mean, it's not just about having easiest requirements, but it's also in terms of getting funded real fast. because you don't want to be approved and then wait for 1 week or 2 weeks before you get the cash, because you know the banks are notoriously known for being slow. But so you want to get your cash real fast as well. So the third hack, the third fair credit loan hack, is to pre-qualify. So it's important to understand that if you want to get the highest loan amount, again, we're speaking about $100,000, a loan play here, you want to pre-qualify. So you want to choose lenders that actually allow you to pre-qualify. And historically, based on our research, online lenders are more likely to give you a pre-qualification status than regular lenders, right? So what we're seeing is that, if you have a bank or a credit union, most of the time they don't have an online pre-qualification tool or platform. You might need to actually go to a branch, or you might need to pray that they send you a pre-screened offer in the mail. So you're gonna have to rely on the USPS snail mail to actually get the loan, the pre-qual bonanza that you might get. But so you want to pre-qualify. You want to pre-qualify so you can actually gauge your chances of approval, but you can also see whether or not, if you were to be approved, how much you can get. So it's not just about gauging your chances of approval, but also how much you could potentially get. Again, we're speaking about a $100,000 potential power play here. So you want to systematically go for those lenders that can actually give you all the way to $100,000. For example, we have SoFi, you have Lightstream, you have CCU, so Consumers Credit Union. So you have a few players that can actually approve you for up to $100,000. Okay, and the cool thing is, all those players, they actually give you the opportunity and the ability to pre-qualify. So you want to pre-qualify. So once you've done everything, just submit the application. Okay, submit the application. If you find a lender that you're comfortable with, submit the pre-qual application, but also submit the real qual application. Now, the real qual application, the real qualification application, they will do a hard pull. That's totally fine. But if you have done the research properly, you know exactly what to expect, and this is fine. If they do a hard pull, that's fine anyway. Let me give you a few tips that we have actually learned in the last 25 years that could actually help you boost your chances of qualifying for a fair credit loan. So you have two options. Two options if you really want to boost your chances, okay? And we're speaking about tips that work all the time. What I want to say here is that the first thing you can do is to actually try to have a co-applicant. You want to look around in your entourage if you have somebody whom you trust, because it's not just about when we talk about co-applicants, people talk, I think, arbitrarily about your spouse, your son, your daughter, your grandkid, your whatever. No. You can have a friend also who can co-sign the loan for you. The only thing is, when it comes to using a friend or a colleague, you need to have a higher, deeper layer of trust, deeper layer of credibility, deeper layer of, I would say, trust and bond. You have to be really close to that person because of the requirements and also the implications. So trying to add you can have a co-applicant so that you are boosting your chances of actually getting up to $100,000. And the second tip I want to give you, if you want to boost your chances of qualifying for a fair credit loan, is to actually secure the loan. So let's say if you have some kind of assets lying around, in the house, you can collateralize. I get it. Collateralize the loan. So that means secure. So collateralization means securing the loan. So this is kind of cool. So at that point, we're not speaking anymore about unsecured loan. We're speaking about secure loan. But the thing is, you don't have to secure the loan totally. You can secure the loan 75% or 50% or 25%. This is totally possible. You have some banks and lenders in the industry that will actually they will accommodate you on that front. Okay, so those are the two ways if you want to always get the proof for a fair credit loan, trying to collateralize the loan, and you can boost your chances of approval. By the way, though, if you want to go with a co-applicant, make sure that your co-applicant has a credit score that it's above at least 30 points above yours, 30 points at least. Okay. Otherwise, you're not really using this option appropriately. So always make sure that you have that taken care of. I want to quickly talk to you about fair credit. I mean, the funny thing is, you'll be really surprised. A lot of folks talk about fair credit, but they have no specific idea which numbers are we speaking about, which numbers are we talking about. So a fair credit score, let me quickly remind you here, because I want everybody to be on the same page. So a fair credit score is generally anywhere from like a score that is from 630 to 689. So bad credit is about 579 to 629, if you will, and anything below I would say a 570 is considered poor credit. Doesn't really matter, when you have bad credit, poor credit doesn't really matter. But fair credit really matters because you have a whole lot of credit cards, a whole lot of credit cards business wise and also personally, a whole lot of loans, credit card and lines of credit that apply for fair credit applicants. So it's important, okay? And so when we talk about, you need to understand, the FICO defines fair credit as 580 to 669. So the numbers are not the same. So this is why I was just talking to you earlier about making sure that you are looking at your specific credit bureau, okay? And the bureau of the bureau that actually the lender is going to check. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about what? A fair credit loan hack, or let's just say a series of fair credit loan hacks. How do you get approved ASAP? How do you get approved no matter what if you have fair credit? One thing I want to say here is that when we talk about fair credit, we're not speaking about something static, right? At some point, you might have to move to good credit. I mean, it's good to have fair credit, but hey, listen, stuff happens, life goes on, and you're going to have to learn how to grow. And so if you want to improve your credit and you want to build your credit quickly, pay attention to your payments. You want to make on-time payments. So your payment history becomes quite essential here. So that as you know, your credit history accounts for 35%. So this is huge. So you want to have that. You also want to keep your utilization low. This is another criterion that applies for that actually accounts for 30% of your FICO score. So those are two things you want to really pay attention to systematically. I mean, systematically. Now, let me talk to you about, trying to get a fair credit loan is cool, but it's important to also remember that you do have alternatives. So if you, the next time you are applying for a fair credit loan, let's say you're applying for a personal loan and you get denied and you're really pissed, and then you contact the lender and they don't want to approve you, just remember that you have alternatives. For example, you can use credit cards. Now, obviously, I'm not sitting here, recommending that you use credit cards as a source of cash. But I'm just saying that the option is there. So if push comes to shove, if you have to survive on this earth, at least you know that your credit card is a source of cash. It's a source of expensive cash. Let's just put it this way. It's a source of expensive cash. So besides credit cards, you also have a buy now, pay later. So those, the BNPL schemes are kind of great if you want to buy something. So if you need to make, let's say, a large purchase, such as a mattress or a laptop, a buy now, pay later loan may be a cheap alternative to personal loans and credit cards. So BNPL apps only do a soft credit check and don't charge interest on their short-term payment plans. BNPL is offered at most major retailers. So we want to proceed with caution. It's important because the thing is that those plans may encourage overspending. So be clear about what really works for you. And one thing I also want to say here is that you need to also pay attention to how what's your current loan situation. Because before you actually trying to get another loan, ask yourself, what are my outstanding debts? What are my outstanding loans, right? And when we speak about outstanding loans, we're speaking about your credit cards, your credit card balances also, your open credit card balances. As a matter of fact, when we talk about your DTI, your debt to income ratio, if you are a fair credit borrower, lenders will pay more attention to your DTI because they are willing to grant you a higher loan amount if you're able to show that you are responsible, you are financially responsible. So pay attention right now. Start paying attention to your DTI, your debt service coverage ratio. You want to research the formula and you want to maintain a DSC as high as possible. That way, push comes to shove. You've already done the work, and you just need to sit down and really reap the rewards. Okay, so be very careful on that front. I want to talk to you about other alternatives here. When we talk about fair credit personal loans, we do have some alternatives. You also have cash advance apps, right? So the thing is that if you need cash real fast and you happen to have fair credit, and you say, you know what, I want to apply for a fair credit app. I mean, not fair credit app, a cash advance app. Now, obviously, you're not going to get all the way to $100,000 with those apps. Remember, today's goal is to actually advance to your ultimate sort of a goal, which is how to get $100,000 on a fair credit profile, right? So, but if you need cash, if push comes to shove, you need cash ASAP to survive in the short run, think about BNPL apps, think about cash advance apps, and also think about family loans. Yeah, reach out to your community, reach out to your circle, reach out to folks who can actually take care of you. I mean, those are folks that know you. And I know a lot of people do not want to borrow from friends and family because it's just crazy, all the shenanigans that might come from that afterwards. But if you happen to have a solid relationship, when you have a tight-knit relationship with your lender, with your financial institution, try it out, okay? But if you also have a great relationship with your family members, try it out. Try to get a family loan. Or you can also get a loan from a lending circle. Lending circles are not really known except the top 2 or 3, like the lending club, the lending tree. But overall, you have the opportunity to get a higher loan amount from those lenders, and you just have to make sure that you know exactly what you want. One thing I also want to say here is that besides the cash advance apps, family loans, and lending circles, you also have in some cases you might have some occasional promos from credit unions in terms of the low APR to sort of help you like spend more. So it's all about making sure that whatever loan you're getting is in sync with your financial situation, right? Because the bottom line here is you do not want to sound like you don't want to extend yourself too much when it comes to getting the loan that you need. But you also want to make sure that you can maintain a credit score that is high enough to qualify you. So this is really important. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. So let me quickly recap for you our fair credit loan hacks. Our loan hack is just 1 or 2 or 3. So first, you need to know where to get a personal loan with fair credit. Be clear about the location. Number 2, you need to actually understand how to actually get the personal loan with fair credit. And I'll give you a few tips to boost your chances of qualifying for a fair credit loan. And also think about the alternatives. You always have alternatives in life. Thank you. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.